Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing an in-depth Season 14 guide. I'm going to be covering clears, how to clear, builds, what to build, and an explanation of when to build which item, covering some of the more questionable items that people have been asking about, going over runes, and how I like to play Eve. Something you might ask is, who is this guy? Why should I listen to him? And I'm a multi-season challenger, Evelynn, and I've hit 1000 LP with 70% win rate. And I've been coaching Eve for about a year, so I think I'm pretty knowledgeable, and that just means, like, if you would like to get coaching, just join the Discord and we can sort something out and definitely increase your rank by a lot. Yo guys, welcome to the runes part of the guide. So for runes with Eve, we're going to go electrocute every single time. We'll go sudden impact. Taste of blood doesn't really do anything, and sudden impact just does more damage than cheap shot, so it's our best option. Then we'll go eyeball collection. The other two options aren't very good because you can stack eyeball very easily. And now for the last row on domination, you can go like Ultimate Hunter, Treasure Hunter, or Relentless, but in my opinion, I think Relentless is the best because it kind of gives you more gold than Treasure Hunter. It doesn't seem like it, but the movement speed it gives actually equals gold basically. So you'll get more kills and you'll be able to farm more. Ultimate Hunter, the thing is your ult's already up whenever you need it to be. Like when you actually need your ult, like you shouldn't need this for ult cooldown. So that's the way I have a view on that. And for secondary, I would go sorcery with absolute focus and gathering storm. This just gives you a lot of damage, and you can also go inspiration, magical footwear, cosmic insight. You can go this page as well if you think you're going to be like low econ, I'd say, and you don't want to rush sorks. I'd prefer this every time though, and then we're going to go double adaptive. I've sort of experimented with move speed and I've just found this is just way better. It lets you clear fast and all these sort of things, like more damage. And the last one, you just want to go scaling HP. That's just going to be your best bet. Alright guys, that's the runes. Peace. Yo guys, welcome to the build section of the guide. Alright, so what do we start with? We're definitely going to want to start with the blue pet. And we're going to go no pet. So, I mean, no potion. We definitely want a pet. So we'll start it with blue pet and trinket. So that's what we're going to start with every single time. Red pet and green pet isn't very good. If you want, you can go red pet with proto belts, but otherwise it's not optimal. First base, you want to get boots and dark seal. This is your go-to combo. If you don't have sorcery page secondary, you want to go Amtome dark seal, because you won't be able to buy boots because you have free boots. So that's something you want to think about. But early buys, you want boots, dark seal, that's your first base. And then if you have 1100 gold, you can grab Sork shoes. That's probably the next best. Well, that's like the best buy. And then the most ideal base you can get is 1450. This is what you want to aim for if you can. Where you get Sork shoes with dark seal. This is the most overpowered buy. You pretty much just win the game low key just by getting these two items starting with. And then what do you want to rush item wise? You have two options. So you have Lichbane first and Rocket Belt. So when do you want to go Lichbane? You want to go Lichbane anytime the enemy doesn't have kiting potential and dashes. So you're versing a Lucian or a Kindred, these sort of things, it's really hard to get on them if they just dash away from you and kite you and slow you and things like that. So you can't go Lichbane versus those champs because you won't even get to use it because they're just going to be kiting you and you won't be able to E them. So that's the sort of time you want to go Rocket Belt so you can get on top of these champions. But whenever you can get away with going Lich, it's going to be your best option. As for second items, you can go, most commonly I find myself going Banshees. Banshees is really good if they have any sort of CC that'll stop you living or comboing. Like it's really OP on Eve. So that's definitely one of the most common second items. as well as Magi's. These two items go really well together, so I'd really suggest going Magi's whenever you have like 10 Dark Seal stacks and you're confident that you won't die. Other options for second item, you can go Death Cap. You can also go Rocker Belt second. So these are your second item options. You can also go Void. So yeah, this is all like this is the main items. These ones right here. You can't go Lich second. You may as well just go Death Cap at that point or something else. And then other items you might ask about is Storm Surge and Shadow Flame. So these two items do good damage, but the thing is, items like Death Cap and Lichbane just do a way better job on Eve specifically. So I wouldn't recommend going either of these items until after Lichbane and Death Cap you have bought already. So that's with these two items. And then next is Zhonya's you might ask about. So Zhonya's is usually bad, but it's very rarely good. It's good versus like four 80 assassins. Say you're versing a Rengar, a Zed, and like I don't know, like a Renekton or something. Like, and you need armor and you need the stasis to like play the game. But very very rarely you'll go this item. Most of the time, Banshees will just be better at protecting you. So that's Zhonya's. Let me see if there's any other items you might go. Not really any other items. So this is kind of all the items you go pretty much. Yeah, so that's just the build section completed. Peace. You guys, now we're going to be talking about the early game. So on the early game with Eve, what you want to do, you want to focus on farming as much as you can. You really want to full clear with this champ on repeat basically until you're level 6. So you want to farm to level 6. You want to never die before 6 or just never die in general. Dying on this champion is very bad because you need to be constantly applying pressure. And anytime you're dead, the enemy knows where you are and they don't have to respect you. So dying is insanely bad. You need to only look for free kills early game. You don't want to force skirmishes. You just want to like relax until 6. But when you do go at 6, you want to use your R whenever it's up. Just look for something constantly and try and make picks happen. When you want to only like farm when your ult's down. So try use your ult really badly. So then when your ult's down, you get to full clear camps, and then your ult comes up after. So that's the early game, put very simply. Alright guys, so for the mid game with Eve, you want to really use your invisibility from your passive to look for picks in side lane. People will never expect you on the side lane, so you can get a lot of really easy kills there. You want to play around your old CD, it's very important to think about that. So you don't want to like force link without your ult, because you need your ult really badly on this champ to function. Otherwise, you're gonna go for plays in like the side lane. You will get a kill, but you'll just die anyway because you have no escape afterwards. So use those picks that you make on the side lane to get vision and objective control, and in turn get objectives from those picks. And that's pretty much how you want to generally operate in the mid game with Eve. Hey guys, this is the clear part of the guide, so I'm going to explain how you clear the red side. So what you want to do is you want to you want to just pay attention. You might want to watch this back multiple times and practice this multiple times in practice to yourselves. It's very important to get this down. Pay attention to every Q I do and notice how I smite the buff like at the last second, but also just make sure you're smiting the buff so you get level 2 as fast as possible because you have no leash, right? So just pay attention to each Q I do and see like how each one is used individually, because each Q is pretty much how you like learn the clear. Like, oh, this Q goes on this camp, this Q, oh, I don't Q this camp, now I Q the next one while doing this camp, like things like that. And I always Q, make sure you Q the big one. The first Q is very important in the clear, so make sure you're not messing that up, because that's like what's going to give you the most clear speed. Make sure you Q the big one here, and you want to just kite the camp towards the end and make sure you kite as much as possible and use your E at the last part of the camp so you get the move speed after you kill it and you get to run to your next camp as fast as possible. Make sure you auto and queue the big one only. I accidentally messed up a little tiny bit there, but you get the point. It doesn't really matter. And we finished this clear at 3 minutes 17, which is pretty good on the current patch, which is 14.2. So maybe you can get it down to 3:15-ish, but not really much I can really change with this clear. Besides like a few like tiny things. So here's like the clear, practice this, learn this. Clearing fast is a very important. So make sure you practice this and get it down, guys, and you'll find a lot of success in your games. Yo guys, this is the blue clear, so just make sure you're paying attention to the cues. Every single cue, you have to learn the cues, you have to replicate this clear if you want to be successful in EVE. It's really important. Okay, so just notice how I do every cue. See how I don't cue the blue here? I cue the gromp. And I cue the gromp here, and with the gromp, the main thing is you need to make sure your last E on the gromp is to let you kite to the walls as fast as you can. So it's not this cue, but now I start going. And run, get to the next camp as fast as you can. And make sure you save one last cue to pull the camp like I did there. Now we're gonna drag it towards the raptors, but you don't want to overkite this camp because you do want to finish it kind of like here. So now your passive starts getting up. So now we get the empowered E. The only camp you need empowered E on is the raptor camp, so you can E all of them like that there. And make sure your third Q is always on the red buff. See here, I Q it while doing the raptors, so that's another really important part to this. Now we're just going to Q and kite it to the Krugs. Make sure you're not missing your Q. Q does a lot of damage. Very important not to miss. And make sure we use the last E to run to the next camp every time we can. Now we're going to do the big Krug. We're going to focus the big Krug and finish this camp. And this clear was quite fast. Pretty sure it was actually perfect, and that's a nice 311. Alright guys, peace. Alright guys, I hope you learned something from this guide. I went over pretty much everything you need, and if you have any questions with your own gameplay, join the Discord and message me for coaching. Peace.